Greece is huge, with an incredible coastline and thousands of islands, but some islands feel like they pull you in from the moment you arrive. Santorini, Mykonos, and Milos, less known than the other two, but just as striking, each have their own rhythm, different moods, different skies, and different kinds of silence. We'll start in Athens, where history hangs in the air, and ferries wait at the port, ready to carry you out into the Aegean. As the city fades, Santorini rises from the sea. Sharp cliffs, quiet mornings, and blue domes that catch the light just right. Then there's Mykonos, all narrow alleys and windmills, with a kind of energy that never really stops. And tucked away from the noise is Milos, still calm, still honest, with beaches that feel untouched. One place leads to the next, and by the end, it all connects. So come on, let's take the first boat out. We begin in Athens, a city where past and present sit side by side. Ancient marble columns still stand, while narrow streets below them stay full of life. It's the capital of Greece, the country's largest city, and for most travelers, the starting point. Flights from Athens to Santorini take around 45 minutes, but the ferry offers something different. Wider views, slower movement, the feeling of leaving one world and entering another. After a while, the shape of the island starts to rise ahead. Quiet at first, but impossible to ignore, which is why approaching Santorini by sea is something you don't forget. The cliffs are steep and layered, shaped by a volcanic eruption thousands of years ago, and the moment you arrive, you begin to feel the layers. The water reflects the sky in a way that makes the island seem suspended between sea and clouds. It doesn't feel like an arrival, it feels like you're stepping into a place that's been watching the world change. The view is worth every early morning. The cliffs are steep, dark at their base, then turn soft and golden as the light climbs. You see whitewashed buildings clinging to the rim like seabirds nesting on a ledge. It's not a subtle entrance. Santorini is dramatic, shaped by something much larger than human hands. Around 3,500 years ago, this island was part of a single landmass. Then the volcano erupted, one of the largest eruptions in recorded history. What was once a whole island collapsed inward, and the sea filled the space it left behind. What remains now is the rim, a crescent-shaped arc of land surrounding a flooded crater or caldera. And perched along that rim are villages like Oia and Fira that seem to lean into the sky. What most visitors call Santorini is actually Turda, the main island, but it's part of a group. Nearby are Kamini Islands, Nea Kamini and Pulea Kamini, formed more recently from lava rock. Along with Tirasia and Aspranisi, these 5 pieces make up the whole of what we know as Santorini. Each island has its role, but Turda carries most of the stories and scenes that travelers recognize. The first thing you notice after you step off the boat is how high everything seems. Because the main port is small, especially for cruise ships, passengers usually come ashore by smaller shuttle boats. Once on land, there's a decision to make. You can take the cable car up to the crater's edge, or ride a donkey up the winding trail that zigzags along the cliff. Either way, as you move upward, the view grows wider and the scale of the island starts to settle in. Some travelers prefer to wander alone. Others choose a guide. Either way, many make their way to Oia. It's the most photographed village on the island, and for good reason. Oia sits at the northern tip, delicately spread across the slope of a cliff. The buildings are whitewashed, the domes painted deep blue, and the alleys narrow and curving. Oia's charm is layered, just like the island itself. At the edge of town stands a windmill, still holding its place as a reminder of slower times. Throughout the village, artists have found space to live and work, drawn in by the light and the pace. Couples walk slowly here, looking for the right angle to take a photo they'll remember. The town isn't trying to impress, it just does. Most of the famous views of Santorini come from this village. The Blue Dome Church, often seen on postcards and travel guides, sits tucked among the cave houses and narrow stairways. Another is the Virgin Mary of the Akathist Hymn Church, just as striking in its form and color. These aren't just photo spots, they are part of the rhythm of everyday life in Oia. Many of the homes here began as caves, carved directly into the volcanic rock. With little traditional building material available on the island, digging into the cliffs just made sense. The rock's natural insulation kept these homes cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Over time, these once simple shelters became elegant villas and boutique hotels. Some of the most stunning cliffside stays in the Aegean are hidden here, beyond modest doors and tucked away paths. As day moves forward, the island seems to slow down. The light softens. Oia in the afternoon has a golden tone that feels almost weightless, and as sunset approaches, the village becomes a gathering place. People find a ledge, a rooftop, a quiet spot near the old castle ruins, and wait. There's a shared silence as the sun begins its descent. The glow spreads over the caldera. For a few moments, no one moves. After Oia, many head to Fira, the island's capital. It's larger, more active, with a different feel. Fira sits closer to the center of the crescent and has a mix of everything: shops, restaurants, churches, and hotels. Its main street winds along the cliff, opening to views at almost every turn. The energy here is steady, but never rushed. Some key places in Fira include the three bells of the Fira church. Its blue dome and bell tower sitting proudly above the sea. Nearby, the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist stands with its soft yellow and blue tones. Agios Stylianos Church offers another peaceful stop, tucked along a quieter path. These places are so beautiful, and they are a part of the way the town breathes. Fira also has its share of cliffside hotels and restaurants. In the evening, many travelers stop here to eat or have a drink as the sky changes again. With cruise ships lit up in the bay below and the sound of conversation mixing with music from nearby tavernas, Fira offers a good end to a full day. If you continue south from Fira, the cliffs ease back into gentle slopes and the coastline stretches wider. About 13 kilometers away, on the southeast edge of the island, you'll find Parisa Beach. It lies at the base of Mesa Vuno Mountain, a rocky ridge that separates Parisa from neighboring Kamari. The beach itself is long, with soft black lava sand that gives the shoreline a distinct color and texture. The water is clear, dark blue, and calm, with a sandy bottom. There are lounge chairs, umbrellas, and places to eat within steps of the waves. Showers, lifeguards, and even a playground add comfort to the setting. At the far end of the beach, a diving spot awaits for anyone curious enough to explore. The area also offers windsurfing, jet skiing, parasailing, and banana boats, with 2 diving centers nearby. A small water park adds something special for families. Parisa is relaxed but active, built for spending time without needing to go anywhere else. As the light begins to shift again, many travelers make their way back toward the western side of the island. Golden hour is different here. The buildings turn soft and glowing, and the shadows stretch long across the caldera. In Fira, from the cliffs just above the bay, you can catch a view that changes by the second. On some evenings, a thin layer of cloud drapes the town, and from above, it looks as though the city is floating. Our drone views from this hour show rooftops just peeking through the mist, while the sea below stays still and reflective. This time of day brings out the best in the island. People find new frames with every turn. Couples hold hands and lean toward the light. The walls and domes seem to glow from within. When the sun finally dips behind the horizon, a soft cheer moves through the crowd. For a few seconds, the moment holds still, and then the island exhales. Lights flicker on, the day ends quietly, wrapped in the same calm it began with. Sunset in Santorini is not a secret, but it never loses its pull. From Santorini, the sea stretches on. Ferries move steadily between islands, each carrying its own rhythm. And somewhere along that open water, Mykonos begins to rise, not in height, but in presence. You start to notice how the light falls a little differently, how the land feels open, almost sculpted by breeze. There's a calm before arrival, a sense that something unbelievable is just ahead. The approach to Mykonos carries its own kind of anticipation. The sea shifts gently, and then slowly, white shapes begin to appear. And here, the island doesn't tower like Santorini. It opens, wide, and sunlit. As the ferry glides closer, the first thing you notice is the clarity of the water. Then the white cubes that make up the old town stack tightly like stones shaped by wind. The harbor draws you in, and behind it, narrow alleys disappear between walls brushed white every morning. Mykonos town, also known as Kora, unfolds like a maze that was never meant to be solved. No straight lines, no fixed directions, just turns and bends that pull you along. The streets are paved with flagstones painted white between the cracks, not for aesthetics, but ones to help people walk at night under the moonlight. Now it all feels deliberate. The shops open slowly, shutters creaking, bougainvillea spilling over balconies, and people begin to fill the air with the soft sounds of their day starting. There's history in these streets. Mykonos has been inhabited since ancient times, but it truly rose in importance during the classical period, when nearby Delos, the sacred island, was a center of commerce and spirituality. Mykonos, only a short boat ride away, becomes a necessary stop for sailors, tradesmen, and pilgrims. That connection still lingers, even now. Boats leave each morning from the old port towards Delos, the birthplace of Apollo and Artemis, offering a glimpse into a different age. Near the edge of town, 5 windmills stand, still and watching. They're one of Mykonos' oldest symbols, built by the Venetians in the 16th century to harness the island's strong winds and grind wheat. They're no longer in use, but they remain in place, clean, round, with conical roofs marking a time when this was a working island, shaped by weather and effort. Just below them lies Little Venice, a waterfront quarter where balconies lean directly over the sea. The light turns soft and the water slaps gently at the foundations of buildings that have stood here for centuries. There are churches too, over 400 of them scattered across the island. Some are grand, others no bigger than a garden shed. In Kora, the most well-known is Panagia Pataportiani, a whitewashed structure that's not just one church, but 5 built into each other over time. Its form is irregular, almost sculptural, shaped by hands over generations. People pass it and pause, not always knowing why. As you walk through town, there's no rush. The pace is set by footsteps, by shutters opening, by glasses being arranged on outdoor tables. The scent of grilled seafood drifts through the air. Somewhere, music plays softly. The island doesn't announce itself, it just unfolds, detail by detail. Evenings come slowly, and when the lights begin to glow, they're soft, golden, echoing the last light of day. Mykonos doesn't ask for attention, it receives it. Like Santorini, it holds light in a way that feels specific, almost intentional. The day stretches out gently, full of sound and silence, of people finding corners and views, of paths leading somewhere, or nowhere at all. The island doesn't offer one moment, it offers many, stitched together in a rhythm that seems both ancient and ongoing. From Mykonos, ferries glide back into the Aegean, passing blue stretches of sea and scattered islets. And just beyond the better-known routes lies another stop, Milos. It doesn't call loudly, it waits, quietly, like a place content to be discovered. It takes a few hours to reach it by boat, depending on the route, and when you arrive, the pace feels similar. Like Santorini, Milos is volcanic in origin, shaped by eruptions that gave it its distinctive coastline. But the edges are softer, the village is lower. Milos has fewer visitors, and that quiet shows up in the details. The coastline of Milos is known for its clear waters and rock formations that curve and fold along the shore. Santorini Beach is one of the most unusual places on the island. Its white volcanic rock, shaped by wind and waves, looks almost lunar. There are no umbrellas or chairs here, just smooth stone and open sea. Nearby, Fira offers a different scene, with calm blue water, small fishing houses right at the edge, and a white church overlooking it all. It's easy to explore the island by car or scooter. The roads lead you from one cove to the next, and many spots feel almost untouched. Small beaches like Sagrado, Papafragas, and Fira add variety to the coast. Some can only be reached by walking or climbing down narrow paths, which keep them peaceful even during summer. Milos might not be as widely known as Santorini or Mykonos, but it carries the same light, the same layers, the same sea. It offers something close to what the more famous islands once were: quiet, clear, and open to be discovered. Just like that, the islands begin to blur into memory. White walls against deep blue, paths that curve without warning, windmills that have watched centuries pass, and waters so clear they don't seem real. Each island holds its own silence. Each one gives you something to carry, even after you leave. From the towering caldera of Santorini to the drifting alleys of Mykonos and the quiet honesty of Milos, nothing feels rushed. Nothing feels accidental. These places don't compete, they're complete. One leads you to the next, like chapters in a story that unfolds best at its own pace. And long after the ferry pulls away and the skies shift again, you'll still feel them. These islands that don't just exist in the Aegean, but somewhere inside you now too. So maybe the journey never really ends. Maybe it just waits for you to return.